What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022, and this is my AMC, GME, and SPY Algo exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. As always, I hope you all had a great day in the market today, and I hope you were able to take advantage of the crazy volatility and make some extreme gains for yourselves. I'm gonna go over all my regulars, my snake algo method for all three tickers, and some macro comparatives. So with that said, let's dig in. Real quick, my extreme gains today from my scalp setups on the 7 tickers that I set up every single day. I had 6 entries from trigger today, the highest ROI being 130%. The next one was 125%, and then I had 100%, a 40%, and 225%. So not as many as I'm used to, but nonetheless, they hit heavy today. Super happy, super grateful. I say it in every video, and as you know, I truly mean it. I hope you all were able to do something similar and make some extreme gains for yourselves. All right, let's dig into the charts. On your screen currently is AMC and my intra-week snake. AMC finished the day today up 0.8%, currently down 0.63% in after hours, trading at $12.52. The current intra-week snake on the screen right now is in the mirrored position, and once again, the projection for it from it last night in the video was fulfilled 100% candle for candle today, and you can see moving forward what appears to be into a partial day tomorrow in the mirrored position, what the projection would be from it if price action were to fulfill it. Then we have also been tracking and looking at this in the straight up position. And in the straight up position, that is where I have been looking at it. Obviously a little bit off, but nonetheless, the projection was this downside and then upside, and here we are upside. It does look like this potentially needs compressed a little bit to show that, and it would still continue to uphold the integrity of the previous projection and fulfillment. So once again, this fulfilled itself and its projection with this downside and back upside today, and you can see what the projection is from it in the straight up position moving forward, what appears to be all of the day tomorrow if price action were to fulfill it in that manner. Now, we are at a point with this where we are getting different projections from the mirror and straight up. So straight up is indicating downside consolidation tomorrow throughout the entire day. And the mirrored position appears to be, what looks to be to me is upside and consolidation for at least the first part of the day tomorrow, and then a potential either completion and divergence or divergence from it if it were to do something other than that. So that is everything that I am looking at with the interweek snake for AMC. Then the macro comparative for AMC. As you notice from the previous double bottom right next door, and I've used it in 2 positions. The straight up, which is the red, the flipped, which is the blue. And here is the flipped position, and you can see the fulfillment of the projection today. We did get one of those candles that I talked about in last night's video, and you can see what the projection is from it moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill it in the flipped position. And then we have the straight up position of the macro comparative. And there we go, right there. And you can see the fulfillment of it in what appears to be an inverted mirroring, which I talked about in the video last night as well. And you can see here moving forward what the projection would be if price action were to continue to fulfill it in the straight up position. So that is everything in a nutshell of what I am looking at and looking for with AMC, my bad. Next up is GME. GME finished the day today down 1.3% at 138.46. Currently down 0.34% in after hours at 137.99. And on the screen right now is my current intra-week snake. And once again, just like AMC, the projection in last night's video fulfilled itself 100% today. What appears to be essentially candle for candle fulfillment, and you can see what the projection is moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill the intra-week snake on GME in its current placement. Then the macro comparative, likewise to AMC, is from the previous double bottom. I have used it in both the straight up and the mirrored position. The straight up is in this position, and you can see, and I talked about this invert mirroring, this movement to the upside, and it's replicating the candles almost identically, therefore indicating a mirrored fulfillment, and that is what it has been giving. And once again today, the mirrored projection fulfilled 100%, essentially candle for candle, and you can see moving forward into tomorrow and beyond, if price action were to fulfill it in the mirrored position, what that may look like. I talked about this as well in the previous videos. If this were to converge back with the straight up, right there it is, the straight up position, it's very obvious what would need to happen. So it's going to be very easy to determine and distinguish between the two moving forward. So that is everything I am looking at and looking for with GME moving into tomorrow and beyond. Then we have, last but not least, SPY. SPY finished the day down 0.18%, currently down 0.11% in after hours, trading at 373.96. SPY was absolutely batshit crazy today. We opened the market gap down 1.94%, almost a 2% gap down this morning. And then this thing went on an absolute tear to the upside, taking everything back, going green on the day, and then pulling back at the end of the day to be where it is currently at. So absolute batshit volatility. I hope you were able to capitalize on that and make some extreme gains. Real quick, another shout out to the Xtreme Gainz Premium Discord, who absolutely nailed it today. A few of y'all did that spoke up with your gains today. Congrats as always, y'all. Crazy week in the Xtreme Gainz family with the Discords, absolutely killing it. So here we are with the intra-week snake on SPY, and the position that I've had it in essentially right here, and obviously the indication was downside here today, and this can be consolidation no matter how you look at it, right? This can be back and forth, up and down on the way down. So as long as we maintain some sort of movement like that, I'm okay with it. But nonetheless, if you zoom out and look at the macro movement, it's consolidation for what appears to be the next week out in front of us, if it were to continue to fulfill it in this position. So I'm not completely ready to roll this out. We're still within range. We experienced a rake today, a volatility rake is what I've called it forever. And we experienced that both to the downside and back to the upside. So we'll see if we get a continuation of fulfillment in this position moving forward. And in the position that it's in right now, it does appear to be indicating some downside if that were the case. And again, I'm not rolling out these volatility rakes up and down on the way there, but I am expecting to see it somewhat fulfill this in the position as it has previously with the integrity of the fulfillment. Then the macro comparative. Now I want to show you all something potentially new here. Maybe you've been looking at it like this on your own, and maybe you have not, but I do want to show you this. It was brought to my attention by a premium member today, and we kind of took a look at it, and I do want to show it to you briefly before we get out of here. But the position that I have been looking at this in is right there. And if you look at it in this position there, let me pull this up a little bit. You can see here that there is, and again, I try not to get real granular with this because it's never been a candle for candle. It's been more of a projected, suggested path. But if you look here, you have the volatility to the downside, you have the bounce back to the upside, the bounce down in and back up, consolidate before dropping off here. And that's essentially what we have here, right? We have the bounce to the downside, the bounce back up to the upside, bounce back down, back up, and then we come down in here and back up. And you can see that right there with the volatility that we experienced today as that being a potential replication of that. And again, I have received candle for candle projection at times from this macro comparative, but I don't lean on it for that purpose. So with that being said, either way you look at it, like I said in last night's video, we could experience consolidation on the way there, as the macro comparative does indicate with its projection, but the generalized perspective of the next overall macro zoomed out movement would be downside regardless of how you look at it when looking at this macro comparative in this position. And you can see here, if you want to get a little bit granular about it, it does appear to be a little more consolidation here for this inside corner before the next dropout if we are to fulfill it in this position. Then what somebody brought to my attention today on the macro comparative was a question and a potential suggestion. Could we potentially be in this portion of the macro comparative? And I'm going to try to do this without throwing off the sizing of my comparative right now. But if we want to look at this, and I may have to regardless. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Give me 1 second. Let me shrink this up real quick. And I will show you what it is that he was referring to and we were looking at. Yep. Give me 1 more second. I'm hurrying. Bear with me here. All right. So what he suggested is it possible that we're in this section of the macro comparative, essentially one step down and then the bottom away from this bottom here? And as you can see, it does look and appear to be pretty accurate from a, again, not a candle for candle, but pretty close, but a suggested path. And if this is the case, you can see here, obviously this may need compressed in a little bit further, but maybe not. You can see the fulfillment of it in its entirety within the consolidation and volatility that we've experienced over the last week. So if that's the case, it is very similar to the other position that I have been tracking, minus the potential, again, for this to go upside to what appears to be around the 384 to 385 area. Now, I said in last night's video, and this is still, I still stand by this, I'm thinking somewhere up to around the 380 potentially, but we looked at a range of this support, and the range is between 380 and what appears to be on the high end 385. So this range is where I would give it for that short-term upside for a rejection back downside, specifically in this position of the macro comparative moving forward. So something I'm keeping an eye on, and that my premium Discord and general Discord members are keeping an eye on moving forward. So if we get a continuation to upside tomorrow to that range, obviously, before we would break out of this and hit this neckline to the upside to make a touch on the macro third that's sitting up top waiting for it, these are the levels I want to see breached to the upside in that order before we would attain that level on the macro third pull prior to breaking back down again and fulfilling another box top. So that is what I am looking at in its entirety with SPY moving into tomorrow and beyond as well. And that is everything I have for this video. If you all made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. I will get an update and prep video out tomorrow night after market close, just like this one. And yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. Good luck in the markets tomorrow. Make your awesome extreme gains for yourselves. I'm having a hard time talking, and I will talk to you all tomorrow night in the next one. Take care, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your night. Later.